Well, welcome back to the Employee to Entrepreneur podcast. I am Tina Kadish, business coach, author, and speaker. I am so passionate about empowering women to stepping into their greatness, stepping into their purpose, and really loving what they do every day. So we meet these great women every episode that I do. I have amazing women that come in and share their story. How did they become an entrepreneur, and what are their stories? And I love to hear their stories. So today I am so honored to have Debi Borger. She is the founder of DB Wellbeing and a certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and motivational speaker with over a decade of experience guiding individuals toward lasting transformation. With more than 11 years of sobriety herself, Debi brings a powerful blend of professional expertise and lived experience to her work. Her approach is rooted in empathy, grit, and humor, helping people reconnect with their bodies, rebuild their mindset, and reclaim their lives. Through her signature E3 method, elevate your mind, elevate your body, elevate your world, Debi helps clients go from their zero state to their hero state, one intentional choice at a time. She specializes in working with individuals in transition from recovery to reinvention and believes that true well being is built on strength, structure, and self respect. Please give me, I'm sorry, I have all of your social media links. So we will provide all of your links to the audience for them to be able to connect with you. So, hi, Debi. It's so great to have you here today.
Hi. Yes, thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So tell me, I loved when I was reading your bio, learned more about your E3 method because I loved those three: elevate your mind, your body, and your world. But what I was fascinated by is how you're helping people reconnect into their body. So tell me a little bit about your story. How did you get here today?
Well, it depends on how far you want to go back.
Okay, okay.
The nutshell that
Yes,
I
there
give
was a
everybody is
snapshot.
basically I grew up outside Philadelphia. I went to school and graduated with 2 degrees in elementary education and early childhood education. I gradually morphed into a phys ed teacher. Then I was an aquatics director in Deal, New Jersey, and oversaw 5 different pools, and it was a big production. And I eventually moved down to Florida, where I had gotten into personal training. And then, as we add on all of our certifications and continuing education, I became certified in many, many things such as youth exercise, nutrition, golf fitness, you name it, over the
Awesome.
course of about 15 years so far. I've been doing this. It
Wow.
wasn't until I gave it all up for the most part, moved to another country, was supposed to get married. That didn't work out. Returned to this country after suffering through a narcissistic discard
Hmm.
and found myself having to rebuild my life again from ground zero, basically. And that is where I basically learned and saw the E3 method working, and but it wasn't the E3 method yet.
Okay.
That's the nutshell.
So tell Yeah, so tell me, I love the way you said ground zero. Haven't we all at some point started from ground zero? And I'm sure that some of the listeners here are saying, yeah, that's me, started from ground zero. And now, for example, I mean, I know I meet women all the time that are been let go from their jobs. They've been fired, let go.
Yes.
They've been laid off. They retired or were forced to retire, and so now they find themselves without a job. That was me when I got laid off and found myself without a job, and I had to start at ground zero. So you're not the only one. So today,
Right.
I would love for you to share your ground zero story. Like, how did you? How did you get to where you are today? Like, what did you do if you had to share a couple of strategies that you did to get
Yes.
where you are from
The
ground
first
zero?
strategy, you know, people always ask me, did you expect it? Did you see it coming? Well, obviously there were red flags, but we like to kind of just
Yeah.
shrug them under the rug or make excuses for them or rationalize them.
Yes.
So, yes,
Amen.
I saw that there were problems, but in a classic narcissistic discard, it's one triggering moment that just, that's it, they're done, the walls go up, you're out, everything needs to be done. And so I found myself 2 days before Christmas of 2023, uh, basically in bed at my sister's house in her spare bedroom, not knowing whether or not I was going to be returning back to Costa Rica to work on my relationship or staying in the United States. And there was a period of limbo.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until 2 days after Christmas that I learned that I would only be returning to collect my things, and it wasn't going to be for another 3 weeks. So
Okay.
that time in between coming back to the United States and then finally realizing that this was done and that it was not going any further, you, even though you have a roof over your head and family around you, as an independent single woman for a very long time, when everything that you've built, saved, acquired has been given away to move, and now you're forced to come back to find a place to live, a car to drive, clients to fill your schedule to make money,
Yes.
it's shocking to your and overwhelming to your nervous system. And I had had a series of traumas over the last decade that finally caught up with me. You know, you keep smashing them down and smashing them down. And this finally was the straw that broke my nervous system's back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the things that I needed to put in place were a strong circle of women around me, family and friends who
Okay.
were there to help and support me. There, there needed to be some kind of something for me to look forward to. And this wasn't until after I was able to move my things.
Okay.
During that time, there was nothing I could have physically
Mm.
done at all.
Okay.
But after, a month or 2 months of moving my things back, I finally decided, okay, I can't physically lift anything. I had lost an alarming amount of weight. I was down below 12% body fat, and almost gave up my 9 years at the time, 9 years and 9 months of sobriety just to go back to bartending because I had no idea what I was going to do to make money.
Okay.
So I needed my strong support system. My family said, you need to go to AA because you need a system around you in order to ensure your sobriety
Right.
stays solid. I have now celebrated 11 years, so I'm very proud about that.
Congratulations.
So thank
Congratulations.
you. I had that. I had got myself a coach,
Good.
and that coach helped me to look at what the future held, to set a goal to strive for that I created, but help me stay on track with that goal.
Mm.
And that was really critical at that time in those first few months to be able to have a system of steps in place. And on a marker board, I had listed in the bedroom things that I needed to accomplish. And I don't care if it was just mailing letters to country clubs, it was something that I completed that helped.
Mm.
And getting my nutrition and fitness back on track, meaning even if I just got up and walked to the gym, sat down, looked around, maybe did one or two machines and then walked back. It was a start. I was starting all over again in every sense of the word.
I love that. I love that. In listening to you, so you surrounded yourself with the circle of family and friends. You had a circle, a support system.
Small, but yes.
Small, but you still had something because instead of being alone. And then you worked with the coach, so you have found someone else that could help you. And I feel that finding someone that can guide you, support you, hold you accountable. And I like when you said about you set a small goal, a daily goal every day.
Yes.
And for those of you that are listening here, think of that. What is that one little thing you could do today that will move the needle to what you need, what you want done? I think it is powerful. So those are great strategies that you've shared. And so tell me about your E3 method. How did you come up with that? And tell us more about the method and how you help and who do you help today?
Anybody. When you were just saying about women going through this, and a lot of people go through this, not just women, it's women and men. But imagine, you said you losing a job, and
Yes.
many men and women have been through divorce, and God forbid there's an accident and you don't have a car for a few weeks because your car is being fixed. Those are all very inconveniencing and traumatic events. Now imagine all of those happening all at once. Not having a place to live, not having your belongings that and breaking up of engagement and all of these things. So I want everyone to really understand that it wasn't right away.
Hmm.
There is that time where my small step was just getting up and taking a shower that day.
Right. As basic as that.
Basic as getting out of bed, taking a shower,
Yes.
going downstairs. I mean, I'd open the fridge and I was like, no, I just can't eat and back upstairs. So it was small steps. But the E3 method, elevate your mind, elevate your body, and elevate your world. That kind of came as I was looking at the systems that I was putting in place for myself and saying, I need to eat right today. I need to move my body for at least 30 minutes, even if it's just a walk to the lighthouse and back.
Yes.
And or walk to the gym and back. And I need to start rewiring my brain to stop going down those same pathways and start looking into the future. And I started to listen to a motivating podcast or an app every morning. It would wake me up on my alarm, and I would listen to this motivating speech that would get me forward thinking instead of waking up right away and thinking, oh my gosh, this is the situation that I'm in. What am I going to do? And,
Right.
and then
That's
that
right.
reel just starts playing over again.
Right. Okay.
What we do in that for it all, especially even young adults that need this after graduation and aren't sure what they want to do, women who are starting over again, whether it's divorce, menopause, empty nest, all of the things. We start with a vision. I start by asking you, where do you see yourself if money weren't an option, if time weren't, no, where would you see yourself in 5 years? What is something you've always wanted to do that you still haven't done? And what is that little voice in the back of your head saying to you? For me, deep down in my soul, I always saw myself standing on a stage talking to other women.
Hmm.
And that is what came out of my mouth to my coach.
Okay.
And so that's what we started with.
I love
And
that.
this was a year and a half ago. And so we started with that. And I said that my grandmother was a public speaker. She had her own TV show. She was an author, but I never honed in on that part of my lineage.
Okay.
But it was always still deep down inside me.
Hmm.
And it just came out. And so the next is action. And we need to put into action with those small actionable steps what we are looking to do, right?
Right.
We also have a reassessment. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I missed one. It was vision, action, assessment. Then we have a reassessment where we come back and we say, okay, what's working? What's not working? What do we need to change? Do we need to reroute our route to our destination, so to speak, which leads me to the very last step, which I call GIPS. Instead of GPS, GIPS. It's your internal GPS, right?
I love
And what that means is that I, as your coach, am basically there by your side as your GPS and your GIPS to help guide you and navigate towards your goal. Now, are there obstacles that are going to come up or roadblocks or things like that? Absolutely. But what we're going to do is we're going to assess them and reassess them, and we're going to find another way around that to still get you to your destination. So those are the 5 steps that I take with each client. And the GPS is a continuing thing because you're going to always have to recalibrate and get back on track if something goes this way or something goes that way.
Okay.
So that is basically the E3 method in a nutshell.
I love that. I love that. So that's who you help. That's how you help people. And I just loved listening to you when you just said the basic things that you got through every day. And because you're not the only one that has been in that state. And so I love that you have this method. And today you empower men and women, you work with men and women, right? To elevate their mind, their body, and their world because their world is much better. Okay.
Yes.
And I love the fact that even if you move a few minutes, and I love the fact that you also said having a vision, because one of the things that I help my clients is create their future self and
Yes.
create your vision. What do you want to do? And I'm working with clients to create it through AI images now that you can create your future self. And so it's important for you to see yourself there. And
Right.
and I've done that for myself now. And I love it when I saw my images of like, oh yeah, I see myself there.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of us, I think, don't see ourselves being successful.
Right. And I think, again, when you really think about that first question of vision, when I say that to you, that answer pops up right away,
Hmm.
but we smash it back down again.
Yes, we do.
It's it comes out, but we're like, yeah, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to stand on stage and talk to, people about being healthy and how it all integrates and we need to, but it is.
It is. It
It's
is.
happening.
It is happening. And
Yes.
we are going to manifest it by just speaking it out there, seeing ourselves there. And have you seen, like today, you're a successful entrepreneur, you're helping other people. Tell us, what is your focus right now? Do you have any specialty that you're focusing on, or are you pretty across the board?
I'm pretty much across the board, but I've really been taking a focus on, and again, because you as a coach, we know it comes into our orbit of what people
Yes.
want to talk about, right? There's
Yes.
always the sober coaching
Yes.
because people are always, especially now, interested or sober curious. So that's something that I help women to do as well.
Good.
But I've been hearing a lot I'm sorry, a lot from women who come to me and ask me if I work with teens, with young adults.
Mm,
And I think that the life coaching or the coaching field is starting to reach that lower, younger age. And I think it's interesting because what I've always wanted to do was to help young women who are young adults in their early 20s who are starting out in the world or don't have the best relationship with mom, but mom wants to help them and have them, a mentor, someone to guide them and that they'll listen to when they don't want to listen to their parents, because the
yes.
parents don't know anything, but I do.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
but I've worked with kids and my whole life, and I've worked with teens, and ran summer camps and done all the things. So it is something that I find near and dear to my heart. So I've actually been working with some foster organizations and helping to try to mentor kids after they get out of the foster care program. I've partnered with Speak Up for Kids down here, and
Oh, I love
trying to help that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie, this is really great. So, as I mentioned earlier, all of your links to connect with you are going to be in the show notes. But tell us the first place that they can connect with you on.
The easiest, if you're looking for social media, I'd say is Instagram at DEB Wellbeing because someone already took the other one. So it's Deb Wellbeing. But
Okay.
my website, DB Wellbeing, all one word, no hyphen, is pretty much the hub for all of the E3 method and everything that I offer.
Awesome, Debbie. This has been great. Would you like to leave one word of wisdom to the listeners today?
One word of wisdom. It's actually right here in front of me.
Okay.
I have it, as we were saying earlier today. Uh, the universe didn't carry me this far just to drop me. And I say, written down in front of me, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens.
Don't give up 5 minutes.
5 minutes before the miracle happens. When you are just about ready to throw in the towel, what if it was only one more step, one more try, one more session, one more something until it finally clicked?
That's right.
So
I've
don't give
always,
up 5 minutes before the miracle happens.
I love that. And I've also heard that you're 3 feet away from the gold. I've heard that. And actually, I think there's a book about that. But I love that, the 5 minute before the miracle happens.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, thank you, Debbie, for being here
You're
today.
welcome.
And for all of you listeners, Employee to Entrepreneur podcast, every week we have different episodes and we have different speakers coming in, sharing their stories. Thank you again, Debbie.
Thank you, everyone.